spacecraft performed its longest engine burn earlier today, which put the capsule on its final path home. It was just 79 miles above the moon's surface at that exact moment, giving us these up-close images you see here. This part of the mission, Artemis 1, is set to splash down back on Earth this Sunday.
Never thought it would happen. Good luck, Orion. All right, so here we are. Welcome to Lunch Therapy. We're moving along. The show must go on, as they say, and it is going on. I've got this cool thing. It's a little dizzying, perhaps, but it is a guy riding a bicycle through the woods. Hoy, Cappy Attaship. And this drone is following her. Following her? Him? We don't know. What does the fox say? Ding, 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 ding. For those of you that might remember, what does the fox say? I played that on here one time. Almost got me kicked off YouTube, I'll tell you that. So we won't be playing that again. But I do have the t-shirt that says, what does the Spock say? Hoy equal means equal, Kamala Lopez. So glad to have you all here. As many of you know, I as careful as I have been, being a hermit, staying in my home, masking everywhere, getting all the vaccinations, working from home, doing all that stuff, still, I managed to get the plague. I'm recovering. We had a show last Friday. I barely could stand. Now I'm feeling a little better, but it's been kind of awful. So for those of you out there, I know we don't like to talk about this too much on the show, but I know a lot of you hummingbirds also have had this experience. For those of you out there in Los Angeles, it's up like 75% here. And so put on your masks, try and stay at home. It's not worth it because it sucks. My doctor said, yeah, we've got new sound effects from Bloss today, so bear with me on this. It could be interesting. I don't think he can even hear them. So, I called my doctor immediately when I got it. Luckily, I quarantined. But I asked him, should I take some fibroplaxin or some crap like that? And he said, no, it's just going to be like a cold. Well, it wasn't like a cold. There you go. I got no advice for you other than to stay away from it. Please. But let's get on with the show. I got a lot today. We've got an agenda. It's going to be super fun and super interesting. There's some really crazy topics that my feverish mind has grasped onto, and I'm going to share them with you. Let's get into this thing called Lunch Therapy, number 406. You know that seal, Bloss? What are you eating? What are you eating?
Oh, the last time I ate on the show, I was eating popcorn. You guys were complaining it was too loud. So today I'm having pumpkin pie with whipped cream, which is very loud.
Excellent. A little ASMR for us?
Is that loud?
That's cool. I'm going to turn off the sound so that I can hear that. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Like that?
I went with the more quieter treat.
Yeah, I think it's good. And also people always complain, nice. Boney complains all the time that there's no lunch on the show. Don't let him see you eating that. He will scarf that down so fast. I hope you hid the rest of the pie because Boney is going to chomp on that stuff.
I put it behind the lettuce. He never looks at the produce.
Let's see who's here.
Big iceberg accent.
Jose is here. We've gotten complacent and pretend everything's okay. Yeah, I know. And then it just creeps up on us. Not at all like a cold. Somebody said it's kind of like the flu. I would describe it as having a vice on your head and electrodes attached to your ears. That's how I would describe it. And
that's not a cold.
It's not a cold. Not for me, at least. I guess it's different for everybody.
That's like torture, like prison camp torture.
And then coughing and just all the horrible stuff. Feel better, Joel. Maybe take a break, please. Man, you need strength. Let me know if I can assist. Thanks, Chuck. I really appreciate that.
Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, I have been resting like a crazy person.
I talked to him during
Yeah.
the third day of his COVID. And
Yeah.
it was not a pleasant Joel.
It wasn't, was it?
Not a pleasant Joel. It was a Joel that I had never met before. And
Well, I mean, imagine what it would take.
Say to the hummingbirds,
Yeah.
please, don't contact Joel when he has COVID. Because it's not
Hopefully
pleasant.
I will never have it again. And also, it's...
Very delightful person, but not.
Well, I mean, I had to cancel the show, which, you know how that goes for me.
Well,
That's
I felt like you were canceling me is what you were doing.
Crazy.
The way you were treating me,
Canceling.
the way you were talking to me.
You've been
The
canceled.
way the way you turn like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, you just...
I was having these crazy... I could not get my mind to shut up. I'll tell you that. I was just going over and over and over, like, you know, how I got it, like trying to figure out how I got it, trying to, you know, blame myself for it, worrying about everybody, you know, and yeah, Chuck, get your second
when you
booster
have
for
it,
sure.
and then you're going through all this guilt. That's got to be.
Yeah, you go through that, and there's all these scenarios, and Matt says, Matt, is it referring to non-duality? Matt has turned me on to this thing called non-duality, and I can't quite wrap my head around it, but I am going to try and explain it to you later on in the show. It is fascinating. You see it on the agenda there. Matt is saying I, which is very pertinent to the whole discussion. Glass is making weird noises in the background. I think that's the pie eating.
I put my pie down.
No, he's got the sound effects. Love to the lunch therapist from Howard and Ronan. Yeah, I'm going to do my sound effect, my one sound effect, which is... Oh, no. Now I know why you said the show must go on. Exactly. All right. Speaking of the show going on, Kamala wants her some pie. Matt, it's been BAFD. Bad. That's how you spell bad these days. Let's breathe.
Welcome to your chakra activation,
Healing
guided
vibrations,
meditation.
of course.
We will begin with the root.
Everybody, we're going to take a moment, get our
Allow
chakra
your
rooted.
awareness to observe the base of your spine.
Boy, Tina Adams.
Feel as your spine is connected to earth.
Kamala didn't get it, thank God. I would have been feeling so bad about that. Joel, you've never met before. She's met that
In
guy.
through the nose.
All right,
out
in
through
through
the
the nose.
toes.
Now visualize swirling white light filtering through your base. Allow this frequency to clean out your old energy.
Just take a deep breath.
Breathe into your root.
Up to the top. Up to those toes. Drop your shoulders. Up.
Okay. For more of this, go to Healing Vibrations on YouTube. We are going to move along with the show because we've got so many things. It's going to be so interesting, and I am going to try and relax. Keep this feeling of relaxation and rootedness.
Each strike moves and activates your cells.
Oh, I like that.
That feels good. That feels good.
Creating space for healing
Ready for some
as the steady vibrations weave together your renewed energy.
He's calming me down. Okay, so that's Healing Vibrations. For a second there, did you see in the midst of the healing vibration, I started getting like out of the present moment and into the future and being all worried about the show and whether we were going to get to all our topics. And you were just over there breathing with your eyes closed. Admirable, my friend, admirable.
Every day you gotta breathe.
Okay. I got a treat for all of us right now. It's Jeff Lohman, Adventure Jeff. He has this app on his phone. It's called 1 Minute a Day or something like that. 1 minute a day. And he records 1 minute a day. I know, fancy that. It's really well named. He records 1 minute a day. And then he sends it to us. You know, he cuts out all the dirty stuff, of course. But then he sends it to us.
You gotta chop it up. You gotta make it tight.
You gotta make it tight. And we get to see it. So here we go. It's a roving reporter. Or no, it's a mini vacation with Jeff Lohman.
Ah. Mini vacation.
Mini vacation.
Jeff.
Ladies and gentlemen, now for a mini vacation. I love the music in this thing. Richard Gaddis is in the house, or an apartment that needs to be cleaned.
This dog is great, man.
Isn't his dog Mocha fantastic? That's Mayada, Jeff's wife.
Oh,
That guy, we don't know who that guy is, but those are water buffalo.
neighbor? A neighbor?
Yeah, maybe. Bees.
Ooh, fresh honey.
I love this song so much.
Pick the best music for this.
Uh-oh.
1 second.
1 second November.
Ooh, yeah, that cat looks like it's looking for something.
Do-do-do.
That dog's got a better haircut than Turnabout.
This is the perfect music for non-duality. This is what non-duality feels like. A lot of us don't know what non-duality is. Matt does, though. Hopefully he can help me out on that segment. 1 second every day, it's called. 1 second every day. I invite other people to do that, too. I mean, I don't want to steal Jeff's thunder, but I'm sure he would enjoy watching other people's 1 second every day. Is
So
it a
if you think
minute
about
or a
it, 1 second
second?
a day. If the month has 30 days, it's a 30-second.
Does it feel like 1 second? 1 second's hard to really quantify. It's easier to quantify 2 seconds because you feel like that's
But
space.
it felt like it had the beginning of the 1 second and the end of the 1 second, which felt like
Yeah.
something close to
the
one.
beginning and the end of the 1
It
second.
had that nice little stretch of the second.
Yeah, we got
That
to
was
thank
counting
Jeff.
it out.
Got to thank
And it-
Adventure Jeff for
oh,
that
this
because
is-
that's so cool of him to give us that. And you know what else is cool? People have been helping me out because they knew. They were like, Joel, you're obviously on your deathbed. Do you need some help with videos? And people have been helping me out. So thank you, Jeff. 1 second Jeff is a hit. I think it's a segment for sure. One Mississippi. There you go. That's what it is. One Mississippi. That's how you count a second. So
I was like,
next
yeah, that's 1 second.
our next roving reporter is in the great state of Colorado. Colorado?
Rod, though.
I think it's Colorado. Just like Nevada. It feels right to say Nevada, but it's wrong.
No.
Okay, so Just Jay.
Colorado.
Ladies and gentlemen, Just Jay has a roving reporter from Colorado. And I'll let her tell you about it, but it's really interesting. Anyway, here we go. Roving reporter time with Just Jay.
Just check.
Just Jay. She's Just Jay.
Roving reporter.
Roving reporter.
Just Jay.
Just Jay.
Roving reporter.
Alrighty then. I was going to interview maybe the staff here at the Best Western Movie Manor in Monte Vista, Colorado. But she was real grouchy, so I'm just doing this on my own. This is the hotel, and it curves so that from your room, you can watch drive-in movies.
What?
In the room, there's actually a switch you turn on for the speakers, and then you can sit in your room, make out, drink beer, whatever, and watch the movies without being outside with all the cars. How cool is that? Now, I do wonder, from our room, the screen did look kind of small.
It does. It looks super small.
I'm not quite sure about that, but that's
Postage
okay,
stamp
it's
size.
a cool idea. And you know what one of my favorite pastimes was? In high school, making out in the back seat of a car.
Scandalous.
What would my life
That
have
deserves
turned
a sound
out
effect.
had I had a hotel that I could make out in the room at the drive-in movie?
I don't know if you're
Joel.
making out in a hotel. It's the same as the back
I
seat
think
of a
that kind of
car,
ups the game when you get a room.
Yeah, I mean, the circumstances change.
We're just going to the drive-in, Mom. Don't worry. Can you believe that?
The one next to the Best Western.
Oh,
you know, Mom, the
yeah.
one by the Best Western up to 27.
It's hardly. It's like when you get like one of those suites at the like Laker game, and you're all in there, and people, you're partying, you're drinking, and you're eating food, like those super fancy suites, and it's like, what was the score of the game? Game?
Who's playing?
There was a game.
Was there a game?
Oh God!
It's so hard to see the game from them suites too. It's like that drive-in. The court is like this big.
Yeah, it's not about the game.
You end up watching it on the TV monitors in the
It's
suite.
not about the movie. We should ask Just Jay what movies you saw. Looks like you can see 2 movies too. They actually have in the rooms those little things that you put on the outside of your window when you go to the drive-in.
The speaker.
The speaker and the volume. They have that inside the room, just mounted on the wall.
And then the speaker's bigger than the view of the screen through your window.
Yeah.
Your cell phone screen is probably bigger than the screen that you're watching.
Totally. There's a TV in the room too.
Away.
There's a TV in the room that's bigger than the screen outside your window. I just love it. I love
mono
it.
speaker that hangs on
America for the win. That is America for you. That is America for you. They don't have that in Europe. In Europe, they'd be like, wait a minute. This screen is too small. I mean, why would I have a thing? Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Why would I do this?
Germans would never do that. They would put the giant screen in the middle of your room. That's what they would do. That would be practical. But you get to be next door to, who was it? Someone? Also, what about the grouchy lady that runs the place? She's so grouchy that she couldn't even interview her. I want to get that lady on lunch therapy for sure.
Look at that place. Did you have a smile on your face regular? She looked like she was pulling weeds, and there was like giant black bags of weeds, like
oh my God.
4 doors down.
That's so great.
I just can't imagine. It's not doesn't seem like a very joyous location. No disrespect.
Did you see the mountains though? The mountains are unbelievable.
As far as Best Westerns go.
Let's just go back for a second and take a look at it.
All right, then.
I'm going to take.
Look at that.
See,
Are those bags? Are those bags of weed? Is that what?
You know, the lawn is so immaculate, so
the
incredibly.
guy mowed it, and he bagged some, and he just stopped. He goes, "I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I'm done." And
Oh, here's what Kamala's saying about that. There's a story where we actually, the only reason you would even know what a box seat is like at the Lakers game is that when I worked for a law firm, I won the Christmas prize, and it was to go to the, to get a suite at the Laker game. It was unbelievable.
Oh.
Brought all my friends.
You had a suite and you can invite people? I love it.
Yeah, so I invited everybody, and people were fighting over it and stuff. People that could even afford that kind of thing. That for some reason, that just to get a free suite is like the biggest deal in the world. And I didn't even know. Like, then everybody raided the liquor cabinet, and they were ordering all these hot dogs and all this stuff. And I was like, "What is going?" They're going to garnish my wages for the rest of my life, probably for this thing. And it turns out it was all free.
It's inclusive.
It was inclusive, and then Ice Cube was next door. And some of the real, like, players that came to this thing, they were next door talking to Ice Cube.
Yeah.
They just
And
went around from suite to
Hey,
suite.
Joel, shut it
Introducing
down
himself.
over there. Shut it up, you guys. It's your hot dogs. We're watching the game. Crying
That's
out
the
loud.
only other time I went to one of those suites was at Cubs Stadium in Chicago, and I ate, I think I ate like 12 hot dogs, and I just never ate a hot dog again.
Sounding like your sports experiences aren't
Not that good.
fantastic.
Not that good.
Good, but
They would have been good if I was present, probably in the moment. Like these
the last time I
water
had a
buffalo.
box suite
Yeah.
at the Laker game,
Yeah.
they had a buffet. Got a buffet in the room. It was like all you can eat, and we tore that sucker apart.
Yeah.
We went to town.
Ice Cube.
They bought us like pitchers of beer every 2 seconds, and it was a mess.
Isn't it
And the Lakers
nuts?
won.
It's nuts. Too much. You knew who won the game?
Yeah,
Wow.
Lakers won. They played Washington actually,
Wow.
and they won by 12. But this was several years ago. This was
Yeah, it was a long
just
time
after
ago for me
COVID
too.
started.
I wonder what
Before
movies they
LeBron-
show there. What movies do you think they show at that drive-in? I think they
Porky's.
show Porky's
I bet it's a big draw.
and people.
And
The people that
probably
live
Fast Times
below
at
the
Ridgemont
stairs?
High.
Oh, that would be good.
Uh,
Bad
and,
News Bears.
Do you remember Phantasm?
Oh yeah.
That was a
Spike Ball.
big drive-in movie for us. I mean,
Yeah.
it played like every summer, like 5 years in a row.
Yeah. What are the
It's a good date
upcoming
movie,
Just
it's very
Jay?
scary.
What are the upcoming Just Jay Rover destinations? You know, what's on the agenda?
No, I don't know what the upcoming ones are, but I would like to see her at some type of a holiday.
Mhm.
If she can get to a holiday festival, Jay, if you can get to something festive, like by the New Year or something like that, I'd like to see you around some
That
very
would be
colorful
cool.
lights.
That would be cool.
And
I like it.
smiling faces and ginger snap cookies and
Maybe a giant menorah somewhere, like in Kansas. Maybe they have a giant menorah somewhere.
maybe if they do they have menorahs in Kansas?
Sure, they got huge. Everything's huge in Kansas. It's like Texas.
Oh,
You have
so it's like a house burning.
Giant
with the
menorahs. They have
13th candle.
giant Christmas trees. They have giant.
I thought
They
everything
have
was big and or
giant
large in
screens
Texas.
that people watch movies on from hotel rooms.
Their
No, you have to
hotel
go to
room?
Colorado for that.
But-
There's a
but
huge
for-
light
for-
festival in LA. We got to go as soon as I get out of quarantine. All right, here we go. Wildlife therapy. Uh-oh.
Bum, 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 bum,
There's no music.
bum,
There we go.
bum, bum. There it is.
Million lights you walk through something. Okay, so, I have a suit on all of a sudden. Look at that. I put on my best. This is an interesting thing because before we were looking at, Jeff Lohman sent us this water buffalo. I never even got to really acknowledge it. These are water buffalo in Thailand.
It's a carabao.
They're gorgeous. What is this, though? What is this?
That is a bison.
You're
It's a
right.
buffalo.
You are
An
so
American
right.
buffalo. It's an American buffalo.
I think I'm overdressed. I'm going to change. Okay, back to normal here.
Look at his face, his profile. Isn't that almost
Reindeer.
like human?
Kenyel says it's a reindeer. I don't think it's a reindeer.
No. Rudolph was never that chunky.
But you're right. It's a bison. It's not even a buffalo. There are no buffaloes. There's only water
No,
buffaloes.
American buffalo is the bison.
You call it American
Yes.
buffalo, but it's actually a bison. It's not a buffalo at all. You know what the difference between a
But
bison
I
and a
do know-
buffalo is? What?
What's the difference between a bison and
Difference between a buffalo and a bison is that bison have a big hump and smaller horns. You know, the big hump. Also, you know,
That's
those
the difference.
water buffalo have those huge horns, and they don't have that big hump on their back. So when Europeans came to America, they saw the bison, and they assumed it was the same. It was a water buffalo. It wasn't.
right?
So it got stuck. And so
So
then
they-
Buffalo
but-
Bill Cody, you know Buffalo Bill Cody? Probably should be called
Yes.
Bison Bill Cody, right?
Oh, very good.
What about the city of Buffalo? They got to change their name. I
That's
guess.
just buffalo wings. It's not. Doesn't have anything to do with
Buffalo wings. They got to be called bison wings. I don't know why they're called buffalo wings. Oh, I guess they must have been invented in Buffalo.
Yeah, it came out of Buffalo. Some
Okay,
lady made it up in some diner.
This is going to blow your mind, all of you hummingbirds. But I'm getting you ready because later on, I'm going to really blow your mind with the non-duality thing. It's going to blow fireworks like that. But bison are the largest mammal in North America. Oh, there's some shots again. Bison are the largest.
Bison?
It's like a typewriter, actually. Bison are the largest mammal in North America. Fight me.
What do you mean? Oh, largest mammal
In North America.
What? We don't have elephants?
That's what I was thinking too. I guess we don't have natural elephants.
We don't have rhinoceros. We don't have These are
Yeah,
all
I was
like
thinking maybe the
African.
moose, but apparently the moose is taller than the bison, but not bigger.
Large, not large.
Not larger.
Because moose are very big. They're like huge.
Well, and moose can.
Scary.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but they can really run too. Moose.
Well, I'll tell you, I never been chased by one, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not fun.
Oh, it is not fun. There's a do you know what a baby bison is called?
Bison, little one.
It's called a red dog. That's what we call it out there on the prairie. A red dog. Yeah. I had a
Hey,
picture
look
of
at
one.
that red dog here. He's moving, isn't he?
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
That red dog.
There's a red dog right there. See that red doggy?
He's a ginger.
Yep.
I get it now.
Yep.
And look, he looks like a dog. He's like a big dog.
Looks like a little
The size
dog.
of a large dog.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, news time. Pillars. Back to the Webb telescope here. It's breaking news.
The pillars of creation lie 6,500 light years away. This area is brimming with gas and dust, essential ingredients for star formation. A new near-infrared image from the Webb Space Telescope shows the scene in high definition. Glowing, bright red wavy lines appear at the
crazy.
edges of some pillars, revealing where
Pillars of
stars
creation.
are ejecting material as they form. The bright red orbs are newly formed stars that have burst into view. Distant galaxies typically make appearances in Webb's images, but not this one. A translucent layer of gas and dust is drawn like a curtain, allowing the stars to take center stage. Webb's near-infrared image of the pillars of creation will help researchers update their models of star formation. Over time, we'll learn how stars form and burst out of these dusty clouds over millions of years.
We interrupt this program, this Bison program, to bring you some breaking news. That was what you were watching there. Was the pillars of the Earth have been photographed by the Webb telescope, and it in striking detail as described. Yeah,
And that's a report from NASA.
that is a report from NASA. You just got that report direct from
I have to tell
NASA.
you,
Yeah.
she did a fantastic job with that narration.
Oh
I
man,
mean,
it was so good.
specific.
I really
Wonderful.
enjoyed it.
She was great. She was great.
I really enjoyed it. What about whales? Oh, this is from that earlier program. We'll be getting back to the Bison program soon, and we'll address
North
all the
America,
questions about the whales.
Yes, and right now,
Yeah.
that was a news break from NASA on the
Yeah.
Orion. How do you say it? Orion.
Orion.
Oreo?
Orion.
Orion.
We saw at the top
On
of the
Orion.
show something about Orion. Orion is the
Orion. Yes, we did.
is the capsule. That was actually mind blowing. It was, wasn't it?
Bolonoscope.
I want to show you. So there's more
Okay.
to this
We appreciate
Orion thing in the breaking news. Get ready. Are you ready?
Ooh. We're ready.
Artemis 1 shot up into the air, as we know. Much to our surprise, shot up into the air, beyond the air to space. Orion is the capsule that jettisoned from all the rockets, giant rockets, and flew up to the moon in this path here. This is the path that it's taking to just loop around the moon. There is a cockpit in there where humans will someday, in the next Artemis 2 perhaps, humans will actually take this ride. But for now, it's just a dummy called the Moonican.
Yeah, they had a passenger-looking object there.
Right now, it's on its way back. It's on its way back. It's going to hit the Earth again on Sunday. It's going to come flying in at a super fast speed, faster than usual. Hope that it doesn't burn up.
Breaking the atmosphere, right? Coming in hot.
Through the atmosphere. I mean, you have to come through the atmosphere, right? Coming in hot. That's where they get the phrase coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
This is a picture of the
coming in hot.
Coming in hot. So this is a picture of the moon with the Orion in the foreground looking at the moon. Orion took that picture. It's like a selfie.
These are all new photos. I mean, these are not from the 60s.
No, this is from now.
Photos are from now. And I tell you, NASA, they got to have an iPhone 14 or something, man, because these pictures are really clear.
Oh, they got this. I think they have the real special one, the real special iPhone.
Maybe the 14 Pro or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah. The one with the three lenses, I think. There's a picture of the moon that they took in, for moon people that are really into the moon. Moonies, I think they call them. They they love this picture, houses? Man. To me, it looks...
Is that a house right there? Look above my head. Is that a house? Is that a pitch roof right there?
I don't know. They better look really close. I think I see...
Do you see it? There's a little pitch roof there.
Could be. We got to scrutinize. Maybe we could zoom in on it.
Above my head, over my right shoulder. Look at that. Look up there.
It's incredible.
That's a triangle. That's a pitch.
So this is a picture that's taken from 70 miles up from the moon. And then what they're going to do eventually is they're going to land on the moon. And they're going to make like a colony.
They're not going to play golf again like last time, are they? They're going to hit balls?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Astronomy is so much closer to getting facts about the pillars of creation. They spit out stars, but who spits them out? It's a very good question. This is where we pique people's interest with this news story, and then they dig deeper and find out the answers to these things. Well, stop it. Who spits them out? I do. Well, stop it. I love the chat. The hummingbirds. It's the most entertaining part of the show. They are disturbing looking. I love that. Like weird fingers.
They're talking to each other, though.
Stars are just balls of gas, nothing more. Me too. Guignol is just a ball of gas, nothing more.
Yeah, but we know that, Guignol. We know.
Neil deGrasse Tyson explains it beautifully. The atmosphere is already broken. Tina Adams has some photos, which I cannot look at, but maybe people will. I see a guitar-shaped swimming pool. He sees a guitar-shaped swimming pool.
Right there. I see it too. I see the guitar-shaped swimming pool.
Duality, right, baby. We got to move on to duality.
Right there.
Here's one more thing.
Right over my right shoulder.
This is the cockpit. Yeah, well, we're moving on now. Here's the cockpit. See to the right or left of your head. Yeah, see that? That's Snoopy.
Yeah.
It's a little tiny Snoopy astronaut. And it's floating in space. It's floating around. And that to the left there is the Moonican. Oh, kiss him. Did you kiss him? I love Snoopy.
I blew on him.
Love Snoopy. The picture is a hummingbird from Ecuador. Oh my gosh, that brings me to the next thing. Next thing is an announcement. Part of the breaking news. This is getting crazy. But another breaking news piece here. Oh my gosh, you lost your head for a second. There's a new t-shirt store. Did you hear about it?
No.
The Lunch Therapy t-shirt store. Yes.
Come on.
It's available on the YouTube channel. And it's all, why am I yelling? I don't know. Probably because I'm like selling or something. And then just in time for Hanukkah and Christmas and all that stuff, the new t-shirt store. Here's Enrico in
Italy.
Calabasas wearing the in through the nose, out through the toes shirt. Guignol wants a t-shirt. Oh, I got a good one for you coming up, Guignol.
What animal is that?
That's the capybara, of course.
Oh, man, I couldn't get a good beat on it.
And I can zoom in on it. I'll zoom in on it. That's a capybara, the largest rodent
Man, that is
in the world. In through the nose, out through the
creepiest
toes.
rat I've ever seen in my life. It's like half rat, half
It's related
hamster,
to
half
rat,
guinea pig.
of course. Great stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
So true. Let's see the next one.
Wait. The animal or the shirt?
You're creeping me out with that mask that you have on. You have like a stocking cap on your face.
What mask?
I'm going to switch you
Where's
out,
that?
dude. I'm going to switch you out, man. All right. Got any grapes?
Oh,
Got
yeah,
any
I
grapes?
some
That's
grapes.
from the famous joke. Got
Yeah.
any grapes? Brought to us
Yeah.
by Todd Lee. I thought the bison was the largest one. You had that question about whales. We're going to get back to that bison segment. This is still breaking news. Yeah, I love capybaras too. Plus, this is a new thing, right? Where people cover their faces,
What?
like weirdos. This Heidi from El Paso. She's wearing the Got Any Grapes shirt. Yeah. Also, if you have any recommendations for these shirts, we're in design mode.
I like
Trash-
this. This is one of my favorites.
Trash Panda Comedy
This one's
Club.
one of my favorites.
This is Gilbert
Yep.
from Fresno sporting this.
Gilbert. Look at Gilbert. Look at Gilbert looking all cool. He is not that cool.
He
I mean,
is
we've
looking
hung out,
rad.
and
Well,
he's
it's the
not
shirt,
that
I think. I think it's the shirt.
I mean,
that
really.
does it.
He looks really masculine, right? Tattoos, beard, and everything. But when
Yeah.
he talks, he's like, "Hey guys, let's go get some beer." His voice does not match his face.
Yeah, but he's a great dude.
telling you.
He's the kind of guy you want to hang out with at the
No,
comedy club.
he's a cool dude. It's just he needs to put a little man on his voice, just a little bit. It's
I
a
think
little,
I have
you know,
to, too.
It's a little high.
Here's Gretchen from Yakima wearing the Good Thoughts shirt.
Come on.
Has a picture of a raccoon.
Yeah.
He's
Good
he's
thoughts.
looking up in the air,
Good thoughts.
going, "Good thoughts, good thoughts." Yep.
Oh, it'd be cool if his nose moved around.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Which-
That's in the future. We're gonna, once we get real
nose
high
twinkle.
tech, we'll have his nose moving around. And then, of course, here's Mira from Ottawa, Canada. She's wearing the Cult of the Hummingbird shirt. That's a good one for Guignol. But there's another Guignol quote on the next shirt, which is, oh no, not Got Any Grapes. Not Got Any Grapes. That's another Got Any Grapes shirt. This is Mike Perth. A lot of you know Mike. A lot of you have worked out with him. He's put you in a headlock a couple times.
But look, dude. I know,
Good
but
thoughts.
I mean, come on, dude. I mean, why can't he get a medium? You know what I mean? Why does he have to wear a small?
He's wearing
When we
a.
send the boxes, he chooses. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, it's so obvious, man. Come on.
It's an
right?
extra small. I think he's
Come
wearing.
on, bro.
He only wants extra
It's
small.
like it's way too, dude. How's he gonna get that? He's gonna need scissors.
That's the way they do it in Perth.
Come on,
That's the way they
Mike.
do it. Love t-shirt art.
Come on.
But I don't wear t-shirts. Okay, we're gonna have to get some more gear. I mean, this is just the beginning of this store. We've got hoodies. We even have like a hoodie up there now. And check this out. Why hurry? This is Leslie and Jerry
Is that a
in San
sloth?
Francisco. It's a sloth. Yeah,
Oh man.
goes
Okay.
along with the whole Slav 90X thing. And then she's sporting the Got Any Grapes because kids
Really?
love the Got Any Grapes one. And then one more.
Yeah, they do.
Be the Hummingbird. We got Michael D. Jordan from Akron, Ohio, wearing this one. Be
Why
the
would he say?
Hummingbird.
Why would he put Akron? Why did he just put Cleveland? Why put Akron?
It's very specific,
Come on, dude.
It's very specific. All right, now
know,
back to your
it's right,
regularly
it's
scheduled
big city.
program on Bison.
Ah.
So that is the red dog. And I know, I can't believe I said that, right? It's just, I can't even
Why? You
believe I
can't say
said,
that.
I
You can't say stuff
know.
like that, dude. You can't. This is
That
a
was
therapy
nuts,
show.
wasn't it?
It's not a comedy club.
Oh my
We're doing
gosh,
comedy,
that was
but,
so
you
funny.
know,
I mean,
it's
I'm
those
sorry,
jokes.
those people. I know that was a really long joke that I had, was telling, but I think it was worth it, right? It was the punchline was hilarious, wasn't it?
Unbelievable story.
I'm just glad we
Well,
captured
I mean, I'm laughing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how some other people, like people, you know what I mean? Like the people that look like that and they're, you know,
Yeah.
they're, you know what I mean, bro. I don't want to. Don't make me get started. I just.
And
can't
we
wait to tell that
also
joke.
we answered
Good
answered
joke.
we
Little
answered the
uncomfortable.
question.
Little uncomfortable.
We answered the question. What about the whales? Because Matt Wright had that question, and I'm glad we
Okay,
dug
can I answer
deep
that
into.
question? I'll answer that.
Well, I mean, we already did, but if you want
The
to,
bison
sure.
are the largest animal in North America. Whales are traveling back and forth from continent to continent.
You're right.
They're
They're
not
in
actually
between
the
the continents.
representatives of North America, right? These
It
guys
makes so
live
much
here,
sense.
they breed here, they eat here, they die here.
I've got
It's
one
true
more.
American. Bison.
I got more stuff to say about Bison, and it's going to have to go on another episode, I think, because we got to get to the non-duality because it's been promised.
Throw us one more bison.
Okay, listen to this. Teddy Roosevelt helped save the bison from extinction. In 1883, Teddy Roosevelt traveled to the Dakota Territory to hunt bison. After spending a few years in the West, Roosevelt returned to New York with a new outlook on life. He paved the way for the conservation movement, and in 1905 formed the American Bison Society with William Hornaday to save the disappearing bison. Today, bison live in all 50 states, including Native American lands, wildlife refuges, and national parks and private lands.
Yeah,
Pretty cool,
That's
huh?
what he did. After he had a different outlook on life, he created our national parks, our where everybody's preserved. You know, the land
saved-
and the animals.
Saved American bison.
Bison were dropping like flies, dude. Dropping like
Oh,
flies.
man.
And if
They
you
were
didn't
just
put a
taking
hole
them
to
out.
it, these animals wouldn't exist right now.
And now people eat them again. Bison burgers, right?
Oh, they're delicious. They're
Have you
delicious.
had one?
Burgers, steaks. Oh yeah, I had bison. Absolutely.
Never.
I'd say bison is probably the third less gamey type meat. Like I like ostrich. I love ostrich, and I like venison, and then bison.
You're going to make me hurl.
Bison's delicious.
All right, so here we go. This is going to be the start of the non-duality discussion. So hang on to your hats because it's going to start in a place that you maybe didn't think it was going to start. But then again, do you even know what non-duality is? This is going to be an introduction. What am I doing to you? What am I doing? I'm going to teach you something here. And hopefully I'm going to teach myself too because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, you're not gonna teleport me somewhere, are you? 'Cause that makes me.
No, you're there. You're just a disembodied voice. Okay, so this story begins with something called a wormhole. Now, some of you are saying, hey, is that a game that I play in the bar with little bean bags where I try and throw them into a hole? No, that is called the cornhole, which I think is a terrible name for a game. But no, this is about a wormhole. So this is very, very breaking news. This is actually more breaking than any of the broken news that we've had on the show so far. Just the other day, scientists simulated 2 black holes on a quantum computer. I'm going to stop this thing because it's making me dizzy. So they simulated 2 black holes on a quantum computer. Google owns a quantum computer. And these people, back in, 1935, Albert Einstein and Nathan Rosen, they described wormholes in a paper that they wrote. And it was basically saying, in the middle of a black hole, there's a thing called a wormhole. I don't know how Einstein figures this out. There's a thing called a wormhole, and if something goes into it, it can show up and come out of another black hole that completely seems disconnected to it, just completely on the other side of the universe. So it goes in one black hole, comes out another really far away. It's a bridge between 2 seemingly unconnectable pieces of space and time. So these geniuses at Caltech, various geniuses around the world, they're like, you know what? Now that we have this quantum computer called the Sycamore quantum processor, which is just a wild-looking machine. It's a computer. I don't want to get too far into this, but a quantum computer is. Let me explain this to you. So 2 quantum particles, they react to one another But then when they're separated completely from one another, what happens to one of them can happen to the other one, even though they're completely disconnected. And they're in these different states. So a regular computer uses binary, which is zeros and ones, to calculate things. Everything that's going on here is from zeros and ones. Don't ask me how. But a quantum processor uses these little qubits, they're called, which are these tiny little particles, quantum particles, that are not always in the state of on or off. There's not just 0 and 1, but there's all this in between. And because there's all this in between, and don't ask me how, they can calculate things at an incredible speed and in an incredibly different way, a completely different way than our normal computers do. And they have to really cool these things off, because you can imagine, I mean, lunch therapy stops sometimes because my computer's too hot. But these quantum computers, they need to be really cooled off. So that makes for this wacky looking machine, this quantum computer. And if I had a picture of it, I would show you. But I don't seem to have it here, of course, because that's the nature of this show. But it's just a crazy looking gold thing with all these tubes and all this stuff. So these geniuses were like, hey, we could simulate these black holes on this quantum computer, these completely disconnected black holes, simulate a wormhole and try and pass something through it. I don't know how they do this stuff. It's crazy. But they were like, and we would prove once and for all whether these things exist. And you've seen these in science fiction movies, right? Where they're like, oh, warp speed, we got to go warp speed, or we got to go through the wormhole and get on the other side, like really far away, and we travel super fast in no time at all. Quantum leap, of course, quantum leap, perhaps. And it's back again now. Now with this new information, it should be really incredible, right? That's right, player one. Cult of the Hummingbird. Every piece of time is connected to every other piece of time. Every piece of space is connected to every other piece of space. The hummingbird connects the time to the space. It is. It's hard. It's hard. But you know what? I'm just giving you this as a foundation. Just as a foundation. Because what quantum physics says, first of all, congratulations to these people who figured this out. I watched a movie about it, where they talked about... Thank you. Thanks, guys. That's for these scientists that figure this stuff out, because when they show you this stuff, they show you the quantum computer and they show them saying, hey, we could do this, and we couldn't make an actual black hole, but we can make just the points needed to express the black hole. And it sounds like lunacy. And the computer doesn't look like, a little keyboard and a screen. It's just this crazy contraption that looks like something, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can find my thing here. Anyway, it's remarkable. There's just this remarkable stuff going on. And let me just check if Bloss is with me. Bloss, are you with me on this thing?
Yeah, I'm right here. Do you think we can actually, like, travel between universes, or, from point A to point B, one wormhole to the other one? It sounds very science fiction-y.
Uh-oh.
And
Uh-oh.
I gotta say, dangerous.
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 All right, so this is the segment called Attempting to Explain Non-Duality. Okay, so now that I've explained all of quantum physics to y'all, how there's, one particle, one quantum particle here, and then there's another one billions of miles away, and they react to one another. No one knows. They're seemingly unconnected, but you look at one and the other one is doing the same thing.
Another universe.
It gives you the sense that things are connected, right? So there's this whole idea. And by the way, Matt Wright, help me out on this thing, because you introduced me to this crazy philosophy, and it is blowing my mind. And I've had, fever dreams and things going on, and then that is in there mixed up with it, and it's pretty interesting. I've heard that there's a quantum Richard living in Poughkeepsie, but I can't visit because the universe would explode. I like that. So yes, so
It's a science. It's a
I got to
science.
tell you, during this experience that I've been having with the pandemic and having fevers and being quarantined and being by myself and my mind has just been going nuts, just going just give me a relentless hard time. Couldn't sleep for like 2 days. And I had these like fever dreams like you'd think. But I was like, I got to calm this crap down. I got to calm this mind down. So I used all the tools that we've learned here on Lunch Therapy. I did meditation. I did mantras. I wrote. I tried to occupy my time with other things. Like I'd watch all these documentary films. One of them in particular that I didn't do any mushrooms. One of them in particular I watched was this movie called Chasing the Present. And they had a couple of people like Rupert Spira in this movie. I highly recommend this movie. This is an assignment for y'all to watch. It's called Chasing the Present. It's available, on streaming services. They had this guy named Rupert Spira, and then I went back to what Matt had told me about, which is about non-duality. So in this movie, Chasing the Present, it's just about a guy who maybe had some drug problems and cleaned himself up and then built some businesses, but still was not happy. And he travels around the world going, how can I be happy? And he talks to all these really interesting people, one of them being this Rupert Spira, who's a non-duality, I don't want to say guru. He explores non-duality. So non-duality, okay, here it is. Here it is, my friends. I saved this for the end of the show. Non-duality, as explained by me, and Matt can help me out, I see he's commenting, is basically the idea that we, at some point in our existence, humans, decided to say, I'm here, and the other stuff is out there. And I act upon those objects. We always say I, we always say me, and then we have verbs of how we act on these direct objects. Well, non-duality is saying, from what I understand, that we are all one and there is no separation from the I and the rest of the world. It's all connected. And they say, as scientists come to this realization as well, because when they look really close, really close on the quantum level, they can't see a separation between the particles that make up me or the waves that make up me and the rest of the world. Not that they've looked at me specifically, but maybe they have from all the bird drones. But no, they realize that there's, and we only see like a certain amount of wavelengths when we look out, like that telescope, that Webb telescope, when it shows us the pillars of creation, it's also showing us an infrared field that we can't even see. So there's all these waves going on that we're not seeing. So it was described to me this way. This is really interesting. They said, and Matt turned me on to this podcast where these guys were talking, and I mean, I have to look up this guy's name because it is mind-blowing what he said. His name is Bernardo Kastrup. And he said, this is the way I describe it, is we are in a cockpit of an airplane. Like, let's say you're in a cockpit of an airplane, but there are no windows. There's only little gauges that tell you what's going on outside of the plane. And you're flying, you can fly the plane from looking at these gauges. You can tell kind of what's going on, the temperature, the speed, the height, all these things. But you're looking at gauges. And so what he's saying is the senses that we have, the sight, the smell, the hearing, the touch, are all just gauges with which we experience the world. But it's not any more accurate than these metaphorical gauges that are in this plane. It doesn't really look like that, is what it's saying. We can function in this world. So what the non-dualists say is that there's a point, where they suddenly, like there's a point of no return where you suddenly realize this is true to such an extent that you can never go back. And I think some of you talk about this like doing mushrooms, that perhaps this happens where you just realize you're just an observer in all of this. And it gets deeper and deeper, and it starts to really make you crazy. But I want to see what old Matt has to say here. Listen to the podcast today where the following was suggested. If thoughts occur in one mind sequentially in time, other people are thoughts occurring in parallel space. Are thoughts occurring in parallel space? I think that's what happens. People think of things at the same time. I know that happens creatively. When you think of something creative, a lot of times someone else will have the same thought. It will be hard to help you out in a 200 character limit chat. We're going to have to talk on the show about this because I'm also, Matt recommended a fellow who has a whole channel on this. And he has agreed to be on the show. So we're going to have that, not this Friday, but perhaps next Friday. Not sure. Is it a comedy? Definitely. Definitely. This is Guignel's always his question. Is it a comedy? Joel wrote the most hilarious stuff during his fever dreams. Oh yeah, I wrote a pilot and some other episodes that you'll have to check out, you folks. Royer, this must be the guy. Yeah. Royer Mountain. Oh, maybe that's, I don't know. I want to watch it. Yeah, check it out so that we can have more discussions about this stuff. Definitely check out Chasing the Present. I find it super helpful. I don't know about y'all. It's not for everybody. Rupert is a good place to start. Yeah. Because he seems pretty accessible. And he's also, the thing about Rupert Spira is he is a ceramicist. He's a craftsman like my father is. So I find it to be very, I don't know, for me it's sort of, I don't know, like old home or something like that. But also it's interesting that his whole thing is about this non-duality, but yet he makes objects. And they're beautiful ceramics. I check out his website because that's really cool. Just Jay says, I could only do a jigsaw puzzle. You solved the universe. Yeah, they did. Everything we think is an illusion. I'm going to get told Bloss on here. Bloss, is it? Uh-oh. Now we've become religious or something. Did you understand any of that? I mean, not to say that I'm just talking about, was I able to explain any of that?
Yeah, I think you did. I think you did a good job of explaining it. I mean, you broke it down, as best as you can without, getting too scientific about it and using words that, not only I, but some people would not know. But the connection that you made between the quantum and the duality, it makes sense. I feel like the way you're talking about it, it's right around the corner though. And I feel like I'm not supposed to witness it, but I feel like it's coming. I'm going to be this old, tired dude, and they're going to force me to go in a wormhole and come out the other end like, oh, this is the old guy. Get that old guy up here, the little old Chinese dude. Get him up here. He'll be
put
fine.
Him through it. Like
waddle me up there.
Like they put William Shatner in space?
I'm going to come out the other side.
Like they put him in space?
Like what?
They put William Shatner in space? And then he was horrified?
Yeah.
He was horrified.
He was horrified because everything, all that he did and all the whole conversations he had about space and everything, he gets up there and he just realizes how small we are or how insignificant we are. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it messed him up. It made him flip out.
I'll tell you, and I just want to go through some of these comments here because they're interesting. Kamala says it's all about the software that was programmed. So that was, what I was talking about how we realized the I and became this I, and then we became other from the rest of existence. And that's just like, they're saying that that's just a software that's programmed for us to look at it. And it helped us for a certain period of time. And now it's probably not helping us anymore, this division. In addition to the notion you are made up of your experiences, sensations, emotions, thoughts, relationships is an illusion. Right. So what one of the guys was saying was that, oh yeah, it was Rupert Spira. He was saying, ask yourself, this is an exercise for everybody, to sit and ask yourself, who am I? A lot of times that's how these people kind of realize what was going on, because like Blas, who are you?
I am a retired b-boy.
But have you always
DJ
been a
star.
tired
And sing and dance.
b-boy? Have you always been one?
I have always been a tired b-boy because I've been b-boying since I'm 4, and I'm always tired. 'cause it's
But were
very
you always
exhausting to
tired?
do it.
Were you always tired?
Always, because it's exhausting. Let me tell you something. It's exhausting being me. Exhausting.
Well, you're an anomaly. So basically what you do is you ask yourself, who am I? And most of these things are not really who you are. Like, you're not a tired b-boy. And sometimes you're jumping around, sometimes you're dancing, and sometimes you're an A-boy. And sometimes you're an A-hole. But it's always changing.
This is true.
Right?
This is true. This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Now, changing or evolving?
Good question. Is it evolving? That's the irony of be the hummingbird. You are already the hummingbird.
And so,
Says.
real question is, who am
Who am I? Angelo agreed to
Ooh.
be on the show. Yes, Angelo has a channel just all about non-duality. So we're going to get an expert on the show, thanks to Matt. He said, yeah, he said he wants to be on the show. He said he can't do it this Friday, but he's open to it. So that would be really cool.
Well, tell him not this Friday. Tell him not this Friday.
And I don't know what you said. Tell him what?
Tell him not this Friday.
Yeah, he's not going to be on this Friday. He said not this Friday.
Yeah, no.
He already said.
Tell him don't.
Carl Sagan said,
Next time.
the sentence is the universe trying to understand itself. Oh, the sentience is the universe trying to understand itself. One of my favorite thoughts. I like that too, that we are just points of view in all of this energy or God or love, and we are just points of view in it so that it can look at itself, so it can experience itself. I think that's cool. It's weird how the scientists come to the same conclusion.
Seriously deep. It's a very serious, deep phrase.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost as though we're here to experience oneself, and none of it is real.
Right. Plus,
feels real.
what would
I mean,
you
I'm
be
sweating.
without the belief that you are a tired b-boy? Oh, that's interesting. What would you be without that belief that you are a tired b-boy?
Probably a woman.
Probably a woman. I see.
Probably.
So are you a woman?
Am I?
I don't know. Sometimes you look like one when you put those filters on. I agree, Richard. We are all expressions of the divine trying to experience itself in all forms. I find this helpful. Sometimes I think this stuff is hard to handle. Yeah, we got a scam bot in chat. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? If I had some kind of administrator, they could maybe, whatever. It's fun. I don't need to get
We have one, but he's in the kitchen eating because he found the pie behind the ice.
Chasing the Present is on Prime. Okay, everybody, your assignment is to watch Chasing the Present. We will talk about it anon. I've talked about some of it here. I got to get back to bed. I got my scarf on. I got to get rid of this horrific thing.
Watch the documentary. Watch the Chasing the Present.
Yeah.
And this particular segment is going to be a recurring segment. So
I like it.
do your research, do your homework. Let's get in that conversation. Let's get the hummingbirds talking.
I
Matt,
think it's fun.
good job introducing this.
Thanks,
subject.
Matt. I really appreciate
Very
this.
good.
Thanks, Jeff Lohman. Thanks, Just Jay. Thanks, Bloss. Thank you, everybody who was in the chat room. We're going to dance it out.
Thank you, Joel.
Here we go.
Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, hummingbirds.
Here's the setup for the dance break. So this is Headley Grange. We've seen it on the show before. This is a picture taken by Lawrence Ribeiro. Of course, that's where Led Zeppelin recorded Black Dog. check out part 2. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Feel
that
better
used to
soon.
be
Thank
like
you.
a prison.
So let me tell you something. We've got a song coming up. What's going on with you?
Oh,
What's
I'm
happening?
looking over at the other monitor. I'm sorry, I was looking at the other monitor. I was looking.
Okay. So
It's moving slower.
there is a
Sorry.
song by Led Zeppelin called Dire Maker. It's like D apostrophe Y-E-R M apostrophe K-E-R M-A-K apostrophe R. You know how Led Zeppelin has these weird songs where you're like, what the hell does it mean? Thank you, Gunell. You know, and so you think, well, dyer maker, it must be somebody who makes like dyes or something, maybe different colors of dyes and dyes scarves or something, or maybe he makes those tap and dye things, which is like threading things, or I don't know, some kind of metal worker or something like that. And you're like, this is like from some ancient thing. And so I looked it up. I was like, what does it mean? What does it mean? You know, because it probably has some symbolic meaning. And you know what? That's not what it is. What it was is Led Zeppelin said, hey, they went to Jamaica, and they said, hey, let's make a song, a reggae song. And so they said, well, do you ever hear the joke? This is a really weird joke where the guy goes, my wife is in Jamaica. And the other guy says, do you make her? Or my wife went to Jamaica. And the other guy says, do you make her? Do you make her? It doesn't make any sense. It's the dumbest joke I ever heard. It's not even a joke. And do you make her? And maybe, I don't know, maybe the guy has like some kind of accent where where did you make her sounds like dire maker? Do you make her? That's how they got the name of the song.
Oh my God! No, don't tell that story anymore, bro. It's better a mystery.
It's a terrible story. Anyway, that's why it's called that. And here we go, dance break. The amazing Adam Pearce and some of his Led Zeppelin band, cover band. Do you make her? Did you make? Do you make her?
What is happening?
Terrible.
Welcome back, y'all. I've got 4/5 of my Led Zeppelin tribute band with me here today. We're going to do an acoustic version of a hit from Houses of the Holy. Hope you dig it.
Too much lead and Zeppelin. Lots of lead. Great song, though. Do you make her?
Oh, 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 oh. You don't have to go. Oh, 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 oh. You don't have to go. Oh, 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 oh. You don't have to go.
Looks like him, doesn't it? Sadly.
All those tears I cried. All those tears I cried. Baby, please don't go. When I
Love those
read
little
the
boxes.
letter you wrote me, made me mad, mad, mad.
Called it Cajon.
When I read the words that it told me, it made me sad, sad, sad. I still love you so, I can't let you go. I love you. Oh, baby, I love you. Oh, 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 oh. Every breath I take. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, every move I make. Baby, please don't go.
They never say to your maker. Never say.
You hurt me to my soul. Oh, 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 oh.
Love
You
that.
hurt me to my soul. Oh,
Cool
darling,
to see it's Led Zeppelin.
please don't go. When oh, oh,
You're making me
oh.
crazy. They should have called it that.
You don't have to go. Oh, 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 oh. You don't have to go. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, baby, baby, please, please, please. Oh, 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 baby. Oh, I really love you, baby. Ooh, 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 darling.
No way.
Baby, I still love you so.
Planned that.
Oh,
Richard.
darling, I still love you so.
Got it. Has now left the building.
Be the wormhole.
All right, great job, fellas. Thank y'all for listening. We're doing this, or I'm doing this, or someone's doing this on my channel every Thursday, noon Central Time. Hope you dug it. Till next time. That was good. Yeah. All right. That was a
Thank you.